A tragedy in Indiana serving as a warning for those looking to stay hydrated this summer. 35-year-old Ashley Summers died last month after guzzling too much water down too quickly. Her family says the mother of two felt dehydrated on vacation. She reportedly drank 64 ounces of water in just 20 minutes, a full day's worth for a typical person. She collapsed and never regained consciousness. Fox News medical contributor Dr. Mark Siegel joins us now. Wow, this was incredibly surprising to me. 64 ounces is about 2 liters of water in just 20 minutes. It's tragic and surprising. I guess I'll start off with you, doctor. What is water toxicity?
Well, first of all, Brian, good afternoon. We don't know her medical issues, but I want to tell you that the kidneys on general can only handle about 1 liter an hour or a quart an hour of water, of pure water. So the first issue there is she was drinking pure water and not electrolyte solutions with it. I'll explain what that means, but the key is here the kidneys. Because the kidneys, if you're drinking pure water, they want to get rid of it and preserve the amount of sodium you have in the blood. They don't want a situation, the body doesn't want a situation where your sodium level goes way down because you over dilute it with water. Now, the other issue here is the rapidity of drinking. Everyone out there, I'm a huge believer in rehydration. You know that. But I don't want panic drinking, and that brings up a term called polygenic polydipsia. I'm not saying she has that, but sometimes people panic. They feel dehydrated. They want to replace it all in a hurry. Don't replace it with pure water. Use electrolyte solutions. It's safer. Keep in mind that your body is sweating off sodium. It's not just sweating off water when you sweat. It's sweating off sodium. So replace it with electrolytes and do it no more than about 1 liter an hour if you're in good health, assuming you have normal kidneys.
So who's more susceptible to water toxicity, to drinking too much water and suffering as a result?
And by the way, what water toxicity is, to answer your first question, is you get so much dilution that it's bad for the brain. The brain can swell, and you can get confusion, which you don't want in the heat, and you can get seizures, and you can get nausea and vomiting. That's the risk. It's to the brain swelling. Now, who's at risk for this? Endurance athletes tend to do the same thing that she did. I'm feeling dehydrated. I'm on a bike, a mountain bike. I'm running. I'm in the heat. Let's replace it quickly. And then those who have underlying health conditions I worry about. Again, diabetes comes to mind. Heart disease comes to mind. Very young and very old, most at risk. One more point here, per the weather, with the heat wave coming, and you just saw that in California, in Texas, and in Florida. I want to put my finger on Florida and say, watch out for the heat index. Because, Brian, when you have a high heat index, it means your humidity is high. And I just said you sweat to cool the body down. That's the sprinkler system. But you can't get that sweat off in high humidity. So look out. What is your humidity as well as what the heat
Doctor,
is?
she felt lightheaded. She had a headache. She went home the next day. And in the garage is when she passed out. I guess I'm wondering what signs you should be looking for that you've drank too much water. And when should you hit the panic button and go to the hospital? Because you can mix the symptoms of dehydration and the symptoms of too much water toxicity. They can look the same, no?
Exactly right. And again, it depends on the sodium, but you wouldn't know the sodium in your blood. I would by doing a blood test. So her headache is a warning sign. Fatigue is a warning sign. Dizziness is a warning sign. And how much are you peeing, by the way? Because if you've succeeded in replacing the water you've lost, you should start peeing, and it shouldn't be ultra dilute. So that's another thing. And by the way, I always encourage, call your doctor. I never say to a patient, what are you bothering me for? I say, thank God you called me, because it is pretty subtle. But the fatigue and the headache is a warning. Anything in the brain that can be a signal that you actually have water toxicity or water poisoning.
So when you're dehydrated, have some water, obviously, just not too much water. And if the symptoms continue after having said water and you haven't gone to the bathroom or peed or anything, then maybe this is more, right? Because she always just felt like she needed to keep drinking, even though she drank 2 liters of water.
Well, and it's the water. I would also add, mix it with iced tea or mix it with Pedialyte or mix it with Gatorade, with lemonade. It doesn't matter as long as it has some substance to it. Or here's something else we do when we exercise in the heat. Fruit. You could have a banana or an apple or an orange while you're drinking that water. Something that gives you the electrolytes back is the key. Don't just drink water. And the other thing is, the 20 minutes is what bothers me, because I said most people with normal kidneys could have a liter an hour.
A liter an hour, yeah, that's right. Just a tragic story. Dr. Mark Siegel, you really broke that down for us. I really appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us here on a Sunday. Thanks.